And welcome back, everyone, to Nerd TV for another broadcast here. It's first one of the 2024 year to kick off a Sunday broadcast for us here that we usually don't do. But welcome aboard for those who are going to watch us on Sundays here for the Global Racing League. And this is the truck series here for the duels. They're going to start off the duels here tonight. And then in 2 weeks will be the opening race of the season. So little fun expedition style that's going to set the field in 2 weeks for the Global Racing Truck Series. My name is Jeremy Stanley, and to my right-hand side is going to be pulling double duty, Mr. Dustin Loxton. How you doing over there?
Oh, I'm doing pulling double duty tonight. First time back in the rig after a really long off season. So it's definitely been interesting for as long as what we've been off. Kind of have to. We talked about it prior to going live. We have to shake the cobwebs out a little bit here because we've been off the screen. But it's Daytona racing, baby. You know me, Jeremy. You've known me a long time. I love the plate racing. I love Daytona, Talladega. I love watching it. Love racing it. So should be a good show.
Yeah, I mean, about 6 months or so ago, you invited us to race in a super speedway series. So I have not been the one who's enjoyed these things as far as like a weekly occurrence, but since we've been doing that, I've been more in tune with it personally. So I can always learn. I've always been in the top five, top 10 in these races if I'm staying clean, right? So, but if I can learn from these guys, this is a brand new group of people too. So I have no idea how any of these guys drive. I'm looking over the names here. They got 26 entries. So it's going to be split into two races of 13 trucks for 45 laps. And Dustin, I don't know these guys. So that's all going to be new to us. And maybe they'll teach us something here tonight.
It very well could be. And you know what? I'm always open to learn something. And just for the record, we are going to probably butcher a couple of these names. So take no offense to it. If we do get it wrong, please correct us. Let us know ahead of time for the following race coming up on February 18th for these boys over here at the Global Racing League Truck Series. So it should be a good one. We always have these important things, Jeremy, as far as what we call keys to victory. Do not push the pusher. That's huge on this one here. You don't know when that guy that's pushing that lead car is pushing. And if you do a push and pusher sandwich, that middle truck it's going to die. They are going to simulate it die for sure. So top line momentum. I mean, if you can get the trucks lined up on that top line, Jeremy, they are going to rock it. It's going to be tough to beat. You're going to have to work hard on that low line and watch out for that third line run as well. If these guys can hold the line, you can go three wide here, and it's going to be one hell of a show. Find your dancing partner. You got to have that drafting partner, Jeremy, so be sure you find somebody. You may have already had them for last season. You may be finding some new ones this season, but by the time it's coming down to 15 laps to go, you might want to know your game plan and know who your drafting partner is. And the big one, Jeremy, that is the story of the night. We're at Daytona. Avoid the big one.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that. It's just shorter races though. It's 45 lap races tonight, so you want to hang in the back, but at the same token, you can't do it for too long. And Dustin, you know as well as I do, and we've been running these trucks on Mondays for a league. And after this update came out, which has been great, the update's fine, except for the trucks. I feel like they nuked how these things draft each other. You mentioned the 2x2 high lines, probably going to be the preferred way toward the end of the run. But we've seen it countless times where if you go three wide, that third lane, it works for maybe a lap or two at most, and then it falters. I don't know if people just don't want to run it, or I've seen 4 or 5 trucks consistently nose to tail up there, and they just can't get momentum built. So, and the suck-up rate to close in on the guy in front of you is not as good as even the Xfinity car or the Cup car. So you can't lag too far back. If you're 0.7, 0.8, you're in that threshold of I need to do something or else I can't get to the back guy or the guy in front of me here. And so you're going to see probably on that notion alone, these trucks a little more closed in than what you would in other series.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, and I don't know what it is. You see a little bumping action going on there. We've seen it time and time again. I don't know if it's because this track here is not as wide as Talladega. So people feel maybe on that top line they have to throttle it a little bit. But Yeah, about a good 2 to 3 laps. If you don't get done what you need to on that third line, Jeremy, I mean, you're dead in the water and you're going backwards.
Yeah, 100% here. And these guys are over to qualifying. So I think we're going to turn into full screen here and watch these guys take their qualifying laps around this 2.5 mile super speedway at Daytona, which I have spent so much time here this past week and a half, 2 weeks. I took my Ford Focus ST for 2 laps around the road course, did 110 through the tri-oval, deep braking in turn one. That was a lot of fun personally. But then the Rolex 24. I was there 14 hours on Saturday and again for another 3.5 on Sunday. And it's my home track. Love this place. Can't get enough of it. And yeah, this should be a great race. Hopefully, the draft package, at least with these guys, hopefully they have a better setup slash weather combo, because I really want to see some good, solid pack racing. But we're gonna go on board here with a couple of drivers throughout this qualifying session. This is setting the heat races, aka the duels. So if you're gonna be starting first, third, fifth, seventh, ninth, you will be in heat one. And if you're gonna be second, fourth, sixth, eighth, 10th, you're gonna find yourself in heat two or duel two for that matter. So we'll see how each other's places here during this 5-minute qualifying session.
Yeah, and like I said, the top two, I mean, these guys are bidding. The top two are locked in their positions. Every other position after that, Jeremy, like you had mentioned, is all up for grabs depending on the finishing order. So you are going to want to go out there and put a blistering lap down. Smoothness is the key. Is right now we are on board with Chad McGinley right now. As he goes through turns one, coming off turn two, you see he's sticking right down there next to that. You see he drifted up off that yellow line there on corner exit. It's an excellent move there. If you try to keep that truck down on that yellow line off corner exit on both 2 and 4, you're scrubbing speed. So again, maximizing the speed here, the most minimal amount of wheel input is what you are looking for right now, because that's what's going to save you tenths of a second, hundredths of a second. And in the end, Jeremy, that stuff counts.
And we have spent probably over a year finally going, you know what, we should probably practice our qualifying, right? We just take the normal setup and throw it in there. And we love starting 25th place in a massive super speedway race. So we've tested, it is a fixed setup, right? But you have the option to change a couple things. You can change the steering ratio and the offset, and if you can tinker that to have that minimal wheel input, you're gonna be faster than everybody else that does not do that. I can guarantee you that. I see on the chats here, by the way, if you're chatting, I'm going to try to read them out as much as we can. Welcome aboard to the Nerd TV broadcast for those who have joined, which I see 11 on the YouTube side and one fellow follower there on the Facebook side. Jay Trill says, love to hear you try mine. And that, I think he's referring to his last name. If it's Trill, I think I got that down pat. I think you're going to have to actually type it out for me, because I don't know what else to go off up there, but I think I'm 1 for 1, Dustin.
I think you're 1 for 1 as well. I'll mark that one down as a 1 for 1. Yeah, the chats are open, guys. We love interacting with you. We love bringing you guys in on as part of the broadcast as well. It's something that not a lot of places do, and I mean, you guys are as much part of this broadcast as anybody else. So absolutely, let us hear it. But yeah, we're gonna butcher some names. I stated that in pre-race. We will definitely butcher some names. No harm intended whatsoever, but it's all part of the learning curve of coming into a new league, and we're happy to be here at the Global Racing League Truck Series.
Yeah, 100% here. We have 1 minute left in this qualifying session. All but one person has or two people rather, have posted times in this qualifying session. So I'm going to go ahead and actually thank a couple of our partners to allow us to do this for you guys every single time you watch a Nerd TV broadcast. First and foremost, our longtime standing partner, Martin Sports at martinsports.dg. It's a small company with a big-time product. Have the best sim gloves, I believe, in all of sim racing. They're breathable, they're durable, they work with cell phone screens, custom prints. They have a bunch of regular ones ready to go, and they're just excellent. They're so good, especially with the wheels like the Moza wheel that I have, where they has like the rubberized side grips. That material just grips it so well, and your hands never sweat. So if you're looking to up your game on the sim racing world with a pair of gloves, look no further. Head over to martinsports.gg, and we have a promo code. It's infamous here at almost every single site that we have a code. It's going to be Super Nerd It's going to be for 25% off everything you do purchase over at martinsports.gg. And it did kick over. I want to read over one more. iRacing iFlag, another one of our longstanding partners. It's a digital light board, 64 LEDs that emits almost every single notification iRacing has to offer to you, whether if it's car high, car low, black flag, meatball, blue flag with the yellow line. If you're going too slow, this software will tell you, and this hardware will tell you. So, if you're looking to up your game and kind of complete your sim rig with something fancy like that, and it's 3D printed too, by the way, custom logos, names, whatever you want printed on it, you can have it. And head yourself over to iRacingIFlag.com. And once more, Super Nerd, this time's going to save you 15% off anything you purchase from Jeff Brown's website at iRacingIFlag.com. Dustin, we have a grid setting up for heat number 1. So I think most of these trucks have logged in, at least to this session here. So we're going to go down the starting order here for dual race number 1, 45 laps here around this 2.5 mile super speedway at the iRacing simulation platform. SC Knight going to be starting P1. Chad McGinney is going to start second. Joshua Slade in third. Fourth place, Shane Wielden. Fifth place, Ronald Holmes, which that's actually the only name we recognize, I think, Dustin. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Sixth place, John Mateo, or De Mateo, rather. Seventh place, Justin LeBlanc. Eighth, Austin J. McGill. Ninth place, Michael Hayes. 10th place, Adam Thompson. 11th, Danny White. 12th place, Ron Harrington. 13th, Patrick Genter. And 14th, and the last one on duel number 1 is going to be Michael Lester in the 6 truck.
Yeah, should definitely be a good one tonight, though. With these drivers, gonna be, like I said, staying clean. Staying clean is gonna be the key in this entire thing, as they are getting ready to fire up. 45 laps, Jeremy. It's a lot of laps. There's going to be some pit stops in there. If we can get to green flag pit stops, hitting your marks on the way into pit is going to be key. I mean, when you're out there for a set amount of laps, 15, 20 laps, and your pulling speeds of 180 to 195 mile an hour, to woe that thing all the way down to pit road speed, if you have not practiced it or you're not used to it, can catch you off guard. And pit road entry under green flag conditions has posed some very tricky and troublesome predicaments for sim drivers across the platform.
Yeah, 100% there. And I've been victim of, well, not victim, I've actually caused almost a wreck, not getting down below the yellow line in time. And when you're trying to pit with 6 or 7 trucks, sometimes they all don't want to merge down with you, so you're kind of stuck. So it's a smaller field here for these heats, at least tonight. So we shouldn't see too much of that. Definitely stick with your partner because that draft model is just not there. And as we're going to get used to these team names too. I'm not too familiar with the team names yet. We will get there along the season. But obviously, if you go to, well, we're going to cycle through all the paint schemes here, which, by the way, they look awesome out here, minus that double one stacked on top of each other. Shame on you. Outside of that, everybody else looking
they
nice.
Look good.
Clean.
They do look good, though.
They really do. But the front row, clear as day, they're teammates. They got the 79 SC Knight, and then right to his outside there, 94 Alexander, or Chad McGinney, rather. So those two, clear as day teammates. And let's see what they do. Sometimes, if your teammates, when you start 1-2 like this, you either check up the inside, allow the outside guy to drop down, or vice versa. Maybe you can somehow get a decent start over this, in this case, the 12 truck, and can allow his teammates to drop to the bottom here. Pace car is down. We're moments away to get this thing started for the first green flag lap of our broadcasting 2024 thing. Here we go. Green flag is out, and they did not get the jump, at least to get nose to tail anyway, so they're going to control both lanes here into turn 1, Dustin.
Yeah, excellent start, though. I mean, very clean start. You see big bump there, and almost troublesome
Already.
there by the 26 of John DeMatteo there. Got into the back end of the 77. It did not, I mean, I tell you what, Shane Wielden did not like that at all. At least his truck did not, but was able to hold on to it. You see now that the 78 is leading that pack right now. The 65, clearly his teammate Chad McGinley has now fallen in there. 2 trucks on that high line solely right now, Jeremy. A lot of trucks on that inside line.
Yep. I don't know if it's just expected to kind of just lay back, but clear as day right now, the inside is going to be the way to kind of hang tight, so to speak. Let these laps kind of tick down. There's no reason to go 2, 3 wide, or at least 3 wide. I guess 2 wide is completely normal here, but 3 wide, there's no reason to even try that. And right now, a lot of this field doesn't even want to go 2 wide. You can tell there's about, or actually 3 trucks.
3, Jeremy.
On the bottom.
A whole whopping 3 trucks. This is unheard of. I mean, at this point in time, the only time you ever hear or see this at Daytona is when drivers are trying to line up on that inside line to do their green flag pit entry. To see this under green flag conditions now, as you see the 26 of Di Matteo just drop down. Now the 77 of Wilden is stuck up on that high side, Jeremy, and it's nothing but a freight train. Choo, ka-choo for the 77 right now.
Man, that 26, John Di Matteo, pulled down to the inside, hit the nitrous button, and just cleared the 77 of Shane Wheeldon. And now he is literally, like you said, ka-choo, ka-choo. Freight train on the bottom here. Only lone truck on the top is the 77 of Shane Wheeldon. He's going to drop back from 6th or 7th all the way to 12th or 13th within 1 lap. And these guys, Dustin, a lot of leagues we've been a part of, they don't hold back. This one, though, for the duels, this isn't even a point race. This is the duels. And they are taking it super cautious here early on, coming up to lap 4.
Yeah, and I mean, it's awesome to see drivers that will do this. They will take it easy like that. And I get starting position is important, at other tracks, but I mean, we've seen drivers go from the back to the front in, I mean, just an amount of laps. I mean, Dell Sr. was one of them that was amazing at it. What was it, 17th to 1st in, what was it, like 4 laps? So, I mean, this is surprising. I mean, it is just a straight line on the bottom all the way around. And we're only on lap 4:45, Jeremy.
If it wasn't for my 2-year-old son, I wouldn't know this, but choo-choo, here comes the train. If you're a Blippi fan out there. But, yeah, they're all riding that yellow line, single file still on lap number 5. And the 12 is actually, that's Joshua Slade. He is pushing SC Knight through the trial, trying to maximize speed, but you're not going to get any benefit, especially in this single file race right now. If you're going to push through the corner, I would not recommend it unless you're trying to pass someone that's on the outside to prevent a run or whatnot. But right now, the 12 is full send, pushing that 79 of SC Knight all the way down the back straightaway. Watch out for those engine temps and the oil temp. You definitely don't want to cook it early. We were part of a race yesterday, and we saw someone grenade it twice, just trying to get everything he could out of the car. But in that case, that we were 2x2, so single file, not really meant to be. And we're also seeing the 65 Chad there. He's getting really close, at least to the 12, through the first part of the trial over here as we get to lap 6.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, if everybody's lined up, I mean, getting super close to somebody like that, I mean, there's no real benefit at this point in time. I mean, there's nobody going for a pass. You know, all you're doing is raising the temps on your motor there. I mean, the 12 is peaking out, though. You do see him peak out down below and up high. He is getting some air on that front intake there, but I mean, at this point in time, pushing. I mean, there's a lot of space in between a lot of these drivers, a lot of give and take, a lot of patience already being displayed here by the drivers of the Global Racing League Truck Series.
100% there. And this comment came through earlier. I forgot to mention it, but Donnie Honeycutt saying, good luck, Ghost Motorsports out there for the drivers who are part of that team. Wishing you good luck on the YouTube side. And then Stephen Hayes saying, let's go Lone Star Racing. So we got our cheerleaders out here on the chat so far, at least on the YouTube side. We got 13 watching, and I'm the only one on the Facebook side. So if you want to kind of flip-flop and support both of our pages, head over to or search for Nerditudes basically on Facebook and YouTube. Go on and click that subscribe button and catch every single broadcast that we do. If you want to be a part of the Global Racing Truck Series here every single Sunday, a little bit earlier broadcast than we typically do, but I don't mind it because I can get off the computer and still have time to do other things, you know. So Still single file though, Dustin. Coming up to lap number 8. I think it's a great time to shout out at least one more of our partners because we have the time to do so. And it's going to be the guys at Dusty Pete's, the official hobby shop of the Nerditudes. It's a hobby store with a whole lot more. They're based out of New York, and they have a plethora of things nerdy to complete your collection. And so they have Pokemon cards, die-cast replicas, Magic the Gathering, comic books galore. They got it all. And so if you want to go over to their Facebook page, search for Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. They have a lot of stuff to offer you to complete anything that you want nerdy.
Absolutely awesome guys over there. And like you said, we'll get the team names, the driver names down as we go forward. The good thing is though is if you look, Jeremy, a lot of these drivers, their teams are actually on their spoilers right now. So you got Grim Reaper Motorsports is running first and third right now with Steve Knight and Chad McGinley. You see the what is that? One of one Motorsports, it looks like, for Slade right there. But a lot of these drivers, they actually have the team names on the spoiler there. Right there's Lone Star Racing. That's been shouted out in the chat. So there's the 85 of Justin LeBlanc as part of Lone Star Racing. So as you're watching this, for anybody out there watching and you're wanting to know what teams are running on, it's an awesome thing that Global Racing League does here is they actually have all the team names on the spoilers. Really cool concept, actually.
Spoilers, and actually I'm imagining seeing it too on the front windshield banner, which I love that iRacing gives us the option to change that. I know Craftsman is the sponsor in real life for the truck series, and they could have that locked in, no problem. But the fact that it's open for customization, I know we do in our trucks. We put our name and the logo of our team up there. I got it on the rear spoiler as well. And so I appreciate that. Lone Star, nice bright orange. You can't miss that on the window banner. Green Reaper Motorsports 1 and 3 and 4 right now with the green, blue, and red truck making it easy for us to pinpoint Grim Reaper Motorsports. But still running single file though. We're coming up to lap number 11, so we're basically a quarter of the way through this event already and not even close to having any kind of incidences. Now, Dustin, what do you think is the odds that they're going to go 2-3 wide after lap 30? I'm just going to randomly guess a number out here.
After lap 30, so here's my take, Jeremy. I think these veterans right now is what they're doing is they're holding their own right now until that first pit stop. They're going to stay in line. They're going to sit here and be nice till after that first pit stop. And then that's going to be before lap 30. And I'm telling you, after lap 30, you're going to see. It's not an if. It's a guarantee. You're going to see 2x2 because that's when they're all going to be jostling and going for the best finishing position they can.
Yeah, 100% here. The only person that has to pit short is that guy leading the field right now, SC Knight, leading every single lap so far of these first 11 laps. He's getting the least fuel mileage. His teammates are having the benefit of having that draft, right? Everybody else behind him. So this 79, I expect Grim Reaper Motorsports to come down a lap sooner than anybody else who wants to extend it by one lap. But that for sure, leading every single lap is not good for the fuel mileage. So they'll probably one stop cut this thing. Once he gets a little awkward bump there by the 12, sends him a little bit down, almost touches the yellow line down there on the back straightaway. But they stay clean. They're going to go through turns 3 and 4 with a little bit more spacing this time around, at least between these three. And yeah, just going to be a one-stop shop here for the most part, unless something changes.
Absolutely. And honestly, if I was a 12, I mean, I wouldn't be pushing the issue as much. This is just, me as a driver, there's no pressure whatsoever from anywhere around. Everybody's a single line. I mean, you've seen the 79, how out of shape, Steve Knight got there from that bump down the super stretch on the backside. It's just, there's no point in really risking it right now. If there was another line up there and you were running for positions, absolutely. But I mean, look at the space as we go through here. Look at the space. You do see the 26 is giving a bump to the 33 of Ron Holmesy Holmes, as we know him. But I mean, look at the spacing as we go back through here. I mean, there is so much space here, so much give and take. I mean, it's just, just ride around, wait for that first pit stop.
Yeah, oh, well, the 6 truck there, he's 5 laps down. He had to rejoin, and he got a little loose off turn number 4. He checked up the guy right behind him. I don't think they're going to lose the draft from that, but like I said, the suck-up's not too strong on these trucks, but I think they're well within that range to get back up there. Patrick Ginter, that's the 75 truck, the last person on the lead lap. Yeah, they're actually closing it right now, so they're still safe to go to maintain in this only pack right now, still running the bottom of the field. And Dustin, I think this is a great time to kick it to a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a couple laps. And back to full screen here. And as we were taking our little commercial break, we saw the 33 of Ronald Holmes go for a little ride off of turn number 4. As we caught just the very end of that as he locks it down. And we're going to go to the VCR rewind here. And it looks like maybe a little bad bump by the Buc-ee's machine there. Bump off of turn 4 sends him deep into the infield section. He's still turning left. He's turned left. He finally straightens it out and then locks it down. So he brings it down low and then locks it down. So what a veteran move there by Mr. Holmesy to not go back up the track and collect anybody else.
Absolutely, especially with as fast as what you're going. I mean, that inside wall comes up so fast. And I tell you what, if you hit that inside wall, you might as well just take that truck straight to the graveyard because it's going to be done. Because it's going to be heavy impact. By the time you get it woed up, because yeah, they're going 185 mile an hour in the draft, 190 right around there. You're not going to hit the wall at that speed. You're going to woe it down by locking it up like what he did, but you're still hitting that wall in an easy 140, 150 mile an hour. So it's going to grenade it big time.
We've done that before plenty of times, so I know exactly how that feels. I think
More
you
than
said
we
more
can
recently than me. I think you just did it a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I did. I had a little bit of help, just like Mr. Holmes did there, but yes, that's usually how it starts off.
Good old assist, that's for sure. Still running single file here. We saw one truck a few laps ago during our break. They kind of poked to the outside, maybe trying to start something, but realized he had no followers. Quickly moved back into the bottom lane here. So going back down the back straightaway on lap number 19 of scheduled 45 in this duel number 1. A lot of trucks moving around left and right. That is not due to weather. There's only 5 to 6 mile an hour winds out here. All that is guys poking their nose out to cool off what they can, especially the top 5 who are a lot more tucked in than the guys behind. So you gotta have to do that. It looks like they're not holding their lane, but you have to cool the engine off, and you got to chase clean air. So that's just a product of this racing. But the people that are watching, which you see about 12 current viewers at the moment, um, definitely something you want to do to protect the engine temperatures, the oil temps, to withstand 45 laps.
Absolutely. And I mean, a lot of these drivers are content with running in line like this here, but I mean, you see the 26 of De Matteo right now. He had his nose, he was about a half a truck width lower than what McGinley was, and that's to get that air. And you see that McGinley's running a half a truck length higher through the corner there. Any chance these drivers can get to try to get a little clean air on that front nose to cool it off, that's what's making these drivers and allowing these drivers to run continuously like that without grenading it and bringing out our first caution presented by Boomer Button Box. So that's what they're trying to prevent. They're going longevity, Jeremy, longevity.
That is 100% the case. As these guys have even spaced out more, I'm kind of focused in mid-pack, and the spacing back here is just unreal. They're giving up almost a whole truck length per truck from about 7th or 8th on back. So just playing it super easy right now. And I have, minus that one, I don't recall who it was, but I saw one person move up just to try the outside on the back.
I seen Danny White just trying
it.
That's why we're focused on him. It looked like he kind of poked his nose out there a little bit to try it, and then pulled it right back in afterwards when there was no movement behind him.
These guys are actually, Dustin, they are coming up on that 33 Holmesy. He is coming off of turn 2. Now these guys are entering turn 1. We've only seen this one other time tonight where the 6 joined onto the session late, and tons of room was given, especially single file. Should have no problem whatsoever making that happen. But we're really close to halfway point, and just some super clean racing, especially for the duels. Expedition race. And they're treating this thing like it is the final race of the year.
Oh, absolutely. So, and you know, like you said, right now, we're looking off of the deck lid of the 33 of Holmes, and you see right there's that pack coming out of 4 right now as Holmes is going into the tri-oval. They are catching him. Now, remember, his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates are currently up there in 1st and 3rd as well. So he was running behind him. Now he's going to be in front of them. He can still offer some assistance there, but we still got pit stops coming up as well, Jeremy. So at some point in time, these guys are going to have to come in and make some fuel. Holmesy's been just like his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammate Steve Knight has been burning a lot more fuel because Holmesy's out there by himself right now. Steve Knight has been out front pulling this entire train. So again, they've been burning the most fuel.
Yep, they have been, and I'm not sure exactly when that lap is where they're going to have to come down pit road, so only time will tell. Maybe next lap, because that'll be the halfway point just past it. So that'll be a great time if they are going to just split this right down the middle, or they're going to run the tank dry. Either way, we'll find out by next lap as they're getting real close out of Holmesy. He's going to shift his way up to the top side there up against the outside wall. And here comes the pack down through the bottom, and it's going to pass him with ease, giving all the room to his teammates there. But still, single file through the whole pack here.
Yeah, I am surprised, sorry, as I put a cough drop in, getting over some ick. I'm surprised at the give and take right now. I mean, we've called a lot of leagues and everything else, and I mean, we've seen give and take, but I mean, to see it in an expedition race here, just a duel at Daytona, has been, I mean, it's actually been nice. I mean, we're not quite used to this, Jeremy. We might end up getting spoiled by the time this is done, but I have to say that that's at some point in time going to run dry. I mean, these guys are not going to stay content. I mean, you look back here, you know, drivers like LeBlanc and McGill, Thompson, Hayes, White, they are not going to be content running 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, Harrington in 10th, Wilden in 11th, Genther in 12th. They're not going to be content in running back there the entire race. So this new car smell and this give and take, it's eventually going to wear off.
Yep, it definitely will. And oh, there we go. Pit road is open. We see about one really late entry there by the Red Bull truck. I don't know
Woo!
if he got down to speed. He's
Wow!
still locking it up, so I don't think he made speed at all. That would have been the number 85 of Justin LeBlanc. Yeah, but we got 4 trucks coming down pit road this time. I'm quickly going back to my replay, Dustin, and at the line, the 85 is at 74 miles an hour, and pit road speed is not 74. So we'll see if iRacing, that's one of those question marks. You can get away with something. I don't know what that limit is, but we'll see if he gets tagged for it.
And it looks like he got tagged for it. He is being held, that of the 85 of Justin LeBlanc. Also a miscue on pit road. The number 1 of Mike Hayes missed his pit stall, blew through it. That's going to cost him. He's going to be out there by himself, which is not what you want right now at Daytona at all. So we're already seeing some pit road miscues, Jeremy, that are costly in a big, big way.
And what I've noticed too, minus that massive miscue by the one, he shot the whole entire stall into the 99. But what I've noticed is everyone at least took 2 tires. Like, I know you have enough time to take the tires, but I would have think that the grip level would have been just fine. But for some reason, everyone wants to take the tire, which is no problem. I'm just kind of not used to seeing a 2-tire stop on the first green flag pit stop of any Daytona race.
Yeah, that was very surprising. Next question is when is the next group going to come down? My thing is, Jeremy, is what it looked like. We only had 4 takers just a couple laps ago. We got 18 laps to go right now in dual race number 1. That tells me some of those drivers were attempting to try to short pit. Try to make up ground as much as what they possibly can. That you see the miscues happen, which is 4 drivers. There you see the number 1 right now of Mike Hayes, who missed his pit box. You see how costly and how much that hurt him just in that, mishap, and it only added about 5 seconds, but look at the distance it added on the track. We're going to have a lot more drivers coming in on this next round of pit stops. So these drivers, I mean, they're going to have to be on their toes. They're going to have to communicate. It's going to be wild to see these guys come in. Question is, and here they come right now. We got, looks like 6 takers right now. The rest stay out as they come in. Ooh, 79.
Holmesy.
Whoa!
Holmesy.
Whoa!
Saves it. Like he's just outside the window that you guys are looking. Oh, he did not save it. Oh, man, he's so close. Spin number 2 for that 33. He tried everything to stay with his teammates, but just locked it up a little too hard there.
Yep. Almost seems like just a little too much front brake bias on that one as we're watching the Nerd TV replay right now. He comes in. Oh, yep. Slides it right there. Misses the commitment cone. Almost had it saved. Ends up looping it right back around, though. Tough break for the 33 right now. Not the way he wanted to get his speed weeks off the ground here at the Global Racing League Truck Series.
Yeah, 100%. And everybody else, here they come. 3 more in pit road, and this will final. Everyone. It almost looked like they haven't raced a Daytona race in quite some time. You talked about it being tricky, which these guys are trying to maximize every single ounce they can, getting to the line at speed. And that's probably 4 or 5 trucks we've seen lock it up and have a little bit of a slide there. So I'm just trying to do everything they can. But keeping it entertaining for us up here.
Yeah, I mean, they're locking it up like hard too, which is just super surprising. Like you see right here, Wilden just locks it up, almost takes out the 75 on his way in too. It just Patrick was probably needs a new driver suit after that one there because he couldn't go up any higher. So pit road continues to be a struggle point for some of these drivers.
And right here, you just kicked it over. This is your lead pack, and 13 trucks goes down to 5. Everybody else is way off pace because that first pit stop, we had 2 of the 4 people have problems. Then the next one there was this pack, which came through pretty clean. And then the numbers game was against the final 3 who came down. You just 3 versus 5. You're not going to be able to do it. And so you're seeing Grim Reaper Motorsports, my correction there. They did it well. At least the blue and the green trucks, they've been working together basically first through third all race long. And now they're 1 and 2, Dustin. So Do you push the 79 all the way to the end, or do you wait for the final lap and make that outside move?
Well, here's the thing, Jeremy, that you got to look at is if I am the 12 right now of Josh Slade, I am a lone man feeling super lonely right now because he is a Ghost Energy drink sandwich at this point in time. He is the meat in between the Grim Reaper Motorsports and Lone Star Racing because you got 2 teammates behind him, 2 teammates in front of him. He is going to be the equalizer on this one here. It's all gonna boil down to that because Lone Star is gonna work together, Grim Reaper is gonna work together. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna play out. And we're gonna find out in 14 more laps.
Yeah, lap 32 of scheduled 45, so we are getting there, 14 to go, and just kind of sit back and relax and watch this 5-truck race just kind of unfold, see who makes the move. Will Lone Star go to the top and maybe bring the 12 with them? Does the 12 notice the run and quickly block them and try to lead the outside momentum? That's where the 12's at right now mentally, is where do I make my move? This is Joshua Slade by himself. I don't know. Do you just stick behind these guys and hope for the best, or do you kind of wait for the move from Lone Star? That's the big question at the moment.
Well, it's hard to tell on these, Jeremy. It really is. I mean, it's all speculation. I'd be led to believe if Slade times it right, Lone Star is going to go with him because Lone Star is not going to be content if the 12 of Slade goes for a pass of letting the Grim Reaper Motorsports team. They're not going to be content with pushing them. So they're going to try to do what they can to get by. And at that point in time, numbers game, 3 is better than 2. So that could be their chance, especially if you just seen them pass the 33 of Ron Holmes. That's another Grim Reaper Motorsports. If he can tag on to the draft, it's going to take some working on here. And it looks like he might be able to catch it. Yeah, that's going to play a factor too. That's going to be 3 teammates, even though one is lap down. That's going to be 3 teammates in the same pack. That means that Lone Star's going to have to team up with the 1-of-1 Motorsports driver of Josh Slade. It's the only way you're going to make it happen.
Before those pit stops, all 13 trucks run a line. Holmesy got passed going a lap down from that prior spin. He was by himself on the top and the back of the field. He was not content running behind anybody. So now he notices his teammates are only a half a second or maybe a full second in front of him at most. I expect him to maybe try to get this outside going as quick as possible to get to his teammates to maybe work with them or control both lanes. Time will tell on that here as we're coming up to 11 laps to go here for the opening dual race number 1 here for the Global Racing Truck Series League.
Yeah, and what we have right now, Jeremy, is we have 2 packs. I know we've been talking about that front pack with the team dynamic, but you have a second pack right now that is your 5th place on back, currently being led by the 71 of Adam Thompson. They are trying to get something together here. They are trying to reel in that front pack. They got 11 laps to go, Jeremy. I mean, they can see that front pack, but there is about a straightaway difference right now. As you see, that second pack just came off of 2. It's about a half a straightaway. That first pack going through 3 and 4 right now. It's going to take a little bit for them to do that because both packs they're nuts to butts right now, Jeremy. I mean, they're lined up. So they're maximizing, trying the best that they can. The only thing that they can hope that happens is that lead pack starts running side by side to slow them down a little bit so that they can stay in line. But it's going to have to start happening soon.
And I've been paying attention to the times between the first pack and the second pack, and they are almost identically matching each other's laps. So 6 versus 5, you have to get close. And right now the 77's actually given up a half a truck length space. As for this front pack is not doing that as much. So yeah, nut to butt, as you've been saying, that's what you need to do. 7 seconds though with 10 laps to go. I don't see it happening though. This is great time. This is a great time rather to practice really close drafting. Even though it's not worth anything, it's an expedition race. But when you go in 2 weeks from now, when you're going to run the opening race of the season at Daytona, you want to get all the practice you can now with your teammates. So why not try something new? Why not try running right up against the door? Practice your side drafting, practice the bumping, get really close in the corners, do everything you can to prepare yourself for 2 weeks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, use it as just that. It's a test session at this point in time. Try to get as much data as what you can going into next or into that opening race at Daytona here in 2 weeks on February 18th. You know, that's where it's at. You know, a lot of people you got to get used to running close to them, especially in tight situations where you need to maximize the time. Side draft, you know, some drivers do not like side draft. Side draft is a real thing, and guess what? It's something that you're going to have to deal with at plate races. It's there. It's not going anywhere. You might as well just get used to it. So understanding it, knowing how to utilize it to your advantage, or your team's advantage, 100%. I would support that.
Yep, so we got 8 laps to go. And again, that time by no movement between the gap of the first and second pack. So we're just kind of locked in here. 5 versus 6, running identical lap times, which that might or might not kind of answer a question or two of how many guys you need in your pack to maintain a raceable pace. And 5 or 6 is definitely going to be your answer regardless. I don't see much checkup either. I'm usually if you're 4th or 5th on back, which right now we're riding on board with. There he goes, Mr. Holmes. He cannot wait anymore. This man likes to just pass trucks, and he is trying it all. Getting that side draft we talked about over the 85 here. Going up to turn number 1 on the outside of Justin LeBlanc. The 12 dips up a little bit there. I don't know if that was intentional or not as he went back to the inside, but no momentum for the 33. Oh, and he went to go dive down, and then they checked up. So then he had to get off the throttle, and he's got to reset and maybe try it again here in the next lap or two.
Yeah, you were just talking about it, that he wasn't going to sit patient. You know, he sees that lap counter going down. He wants to try to get up there to try to help out. And at the same time, though, he knows he's a lap down car. So I would imagine if he was on the lead lap and it was for position, his side draft would probably be a lot closer than what it was when he attempted it that time. But Holmesy trying to take it easy, just knowing that he is a lap down car. But laps are taken away. You see the 12 right now with Slade finally jump out. Is Lone Star going to go with him? And Jeremy, they almost looked like they were going to run in line on that low line. They did not look like they were drifting up to follow the 12.
Joshua's doing everything he can. There we go. He's got the call out there. He wants to make the move. Everybody else is saying, nah, I'm good. We're just going to hang tight here for a little bit longer. They think 6 laps is too early. So we're going to wait for a few more. But you got a feel for Joshua, who's just in that sandwich of team members that does not belong to him. I just, he's doing what he can, but maybe the call will be answered here with 4 to go or 3 to go.
Yeah, and I mean, it's right now the 12 is in a tough situation. If he doesn't play his cards right, or he doesn't read the drivers behind him properly when he goes to try to take that peak, that signal to the outside, he could find himself at a loss right now. And you've seen him do it a couple times. He'll peek outside, and nobody will go with him, and he jumps right back, just like that, jumps right back down. He gets it closer and closer every time, though. One of these times, there's going to be a nose down there. He's going to have to commit. But I agree. I think 5-6 laps is too soon. With about 3 laps to go, that's when you start doing it, because you're going to have to build these runs up. You're going to have to do it. Even 2 laps to go would be, you might have a better chance for those drivers, those Lone Star Racing drivers behind him, of Danny White and Adam Thompson to, do anything. Actually, it's not even Adam Thompson. It's the 85 of Justin LeBlanc who got held down there. So you got 2 lap down cars right now, being the 85 and 33 at the tail end. But they have teammates that are in the running right now in this top pack.
And pack number 2 has given up hope. Last lap, they were side by side, 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And as soon as I bring them into the spotlight, they all tuck back single file. So call me a liar. But they went back single file here with 3 laps to go at the line this time. I was kind of surprised, Dustin. The 2 trucks leading this thing, the 71, the 99, that's Adam Thompson and Austin McGill. Those 2 were by themselves on the bottom, 3 on the top. And the 75, 77, 57, they could not get the speed to even get close to the 71, so they had to back up and reset. So they're going to be single file here, jumping back to the front here. 2.5 laps to go. This pack still single file, the 12 once more. Oh, here we go. Lone Star, second driver to the top. Will they make anything happen? He's staying more committed. Just not enough speed. Goes back to single file through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, they've got to get it tightened back up because we are going through 3 and 4 right now, coming to 2 laps to go. This is the make or break time, Jeremy. This is when you're going to see them. The 12 of Slade has to be committed on this. That's the only way he's going to have a chance to get around Knight McGinley right now. He has to be committed. 2 laps to go, and he has to have the help. Everything's going to ride on whether Lone Star Racing drivers of Danny White and Justin LeBlanc go with him or not, because you know the 33 Ron Holmes is not going to go with him. The second he sees an open door, he's closing right up to Knight McGinley.
Yeah, 100% here. Oh, Lone Star going up to the top here down the back straightaway for 1.5 laps to go in opening duel number 1. Does not work there. Just nothing is being produced, Dustin. Usually we can see a good 2x2, but even just the 3-on-2 from the second pack didn't work on the top. So they once more go back to single file. And this
I think
draft
they're testing
package with this truck is just mute.
I think they're testing, Jeremy. I honestly do. Look at the fallback right now that Lone Star has.
Go, yeah.
They're building a run. They're testing the run as we have the elevated esports racing 1 to go. They are testing the run. That's exactly what they were doing. Fake out there. Lone Star going to leave the 12 of Slade out to dry here as they're going down the backstretch here. Slade trying everything he can to hold on side by side. This is exactly what Knight McGinley wanted right here, Jeremy, to see these guys side by side, because that means that the 64 of Danny White is locked to the inside. As he peeks to the outside now, his teammate LeBlanc to the inside is Slade. They're trying everything they can, Jeremy, but it's just not going to be enough. Too much fighting and disorganization there to get the run as they try one last bit, but it is going to be the 79 of Steve Knight. Gets the dual race win number 1, but Danny White was able to fight back and pick up that second position with Chad McGinley, your other Grim Reaper Motorsports driver, rounding out your podium here in dual race number 1.
Great finish there. Got some side-by-side action at the line. I actually thought Danny White made the bad decision to go underneath the 12 of Joshua Slade. I thought he was going to be stuck between the 2 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers, but I guess not. He was able to get back to the top and pass the 65, so it puts him in P2. So excellent finish there from the 64 to advance a couple positions at the end of that event. So that'll put him P3 on the grid in 2 weeks. So, but it is our time now, Dustin, to reset. We have 45 more laps to look over for dual race number 2. And so, isn't it before, Dustin, whenever they were Daytona for the duels and then in real life, that if one race was calm, the other race was a storm?
That is usually the go rate. Usually if you had a calm first race, the second race was a barn burner, and vice versa. If the first race was a barn burner, the second race was calm as calm could be. So we're going to see if these drivers here for the Global Racing League Truck Series live up to their real-life counterparts.
That's right. And so we have a grid to go through one more time. 14 entries here for duel number 2. And the very first name I'm going to butcher. We practiced it. I don't know if I'm going to get it. But I got Alexander Encarnaciao. Encarnaciao?
Encarnaciao. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. I love it. Second place got Bobby Mantle. Third, J.J. McCoy. Fourth, John Howard. Fifth place, Bradley Miner. Sixth place, Carlos Henriquez. Sixth place, Zach Hollinger. Eighth, E.J. Luna. Ninth place will be DJ Honeycutt. 10th place, Michael Dow. 11th, Tyler Honeycutt. 13th, actually no, 12th would be Mark Sherwood. 13th, Stephen Hayes. And 14th, and the last person in dual heat number 2, the number 5 of Kenny Heath.
Yeah, should be a good one here. Like I said, I'm interested to find out, Jeremy, whether or not these guys are going to live up to how it happens with the real guys, with their real-life counterparts. You know, are we going to have crazy side-by-side action-packed, or are there going to be a lot of give and take waiting until the last final laps with a 3-wide finish at the end? So we're going to find out here in half a lap. We go green, and we got 45 more laps of heat races. I do want to remind you guys that this is just the dual races. So at the conclusion of this race here, these guys will be done for the remainder of this event here and will return with us calling the shots and every lap of action in 2 weeks from today, February 18th. They will pick up for their Daytona race, so should be good. Do want to give a shout out as well. Just popped up our good buddy Doyle Lawrence out there saying, hello, Nerds crew, what's up? Just got home from work and enjoying the broadcast. Duel 2, let's rock it. So love to have Doyle on the chats as well. Always glad to see him there, but hey, we're going to look to see what happens.
Doyle, we love you. I know your buddy Jeff Chandler's not here, but you're still joining in on our broadcast, so appreciate you. An awesome job. I've seen Jeff Chandler's car for 2024. And man, I know you love your chrome, but the way you spec mapped that thing, it looks so good. But we are green flag here. We got 2 more Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers in 2nd and 3rd place to start number 2. The front runner there, Alexander, he's got most of the trucks behind him, but Dustin, there is more than 3 on the top this time. Please, do we see something a little bit more with this 2 wide?
Yeah, right now you're seeing 5 on that top side. Is one driver pulling out already right now, way down low. Decided, you know what, that is Alexander. He pulled out, went down. Oh, contact right now up at the front. A lot of contact. They save it, though. That was from the 89 of Bobby Mantle. Went to pull down on that low line right in front of the 78 of John Howard and just cut it too close on that one. Almost stacked up the field, but all the drivers kept it. And right now, you see Howard currently leading that lap. Now he's leading that high side. So, Jeremy, I'm going to say right now, they're living up to their real-life counterparts because we've already seen it from the drop of the green flag.
Man, the 78 there, John Howard, he did have the guy come down to try to squeeze in front, right? But the same token, it looked like John actually came up the track with like a little abrasive twitch of the wheel and then made that contact and almost, I don't know how he didn't wreck it first off. That was just impressive to go 3 wide, bumping in the corner. I thought for sure we were going to see that big one that we talked about that always is expected at Daytona. And for some reason, these guys kept it straight and clean. And the guy who almost wrecked led the next lap and this lap. That's the 78 there, as they are single file for the first 2. But we got 5 on the top now, 6 with the 94 of Alexander moving back up there. The 81 right now, Carlos Henriquez, is going to lead the way on the top.
Yeah, it's still disorganized on that top side. They got to get organized, but Jeremy, it's good to see more trucks up there on that high side right now. I mean, you're looking at 6 trucks stacked up there. Is Alexander still trying to figure out where he's wanting to run right now? He went from the front to the back, went from low to high. He's still trying to field out, but you still got 5 trucks up there with about the same amount on that low line because the rest of them are spaced out quite a bit. So the power is equal right now, Jeremy, but there's a lot of jostling. These drivers still trying to feel things out, but 78 still leading the way. But Carlos Henriquez Jr. still getting that good push from the 24, VJ Luna.
Very good push here on the top side. We got some 2x2 racing for you, and I was kind of curious on the view count on our socials who was going to have more, Duel 1 or Duel 2. And I saw that YouTube ticker for the first time hit 18. So I guess people are a little more excited for this number 2. I know Doyle Lawrence joined in there and going to chat with us all the way the remainder 42 laps of this event. But that inside Dustin looks a little more formal, a little more sucked in. Is this the tail off, or can they still maintain this? And as I say that, the 81 gets a great push there from the 24. That being EJ Luna is going to maintain him in P2.
Yeah, well, remember our keys to victory we talked about was that high line momentum off of corner exit. If you've got the right push behind you, it is going to help out big time. So, I mean, that is the big thing that these drivers are getting, but we're also not getting the side draft that we've seen on a number of drivers, all the way through. So these drivers aren't pushing the issue right now when it comes to side draft. That's going to come into play at some point in time later on. I mean, they're going to come into it. They're going to start doing it, but it's too early yet, Jeremy. let these guys sit here and factor things out, and it'll look good. Doyle Lawrence did say pucker factor. That was on that 89-78 near catastrophe there. That was Mantle and Howard in the save that we had. Oh, wow! The 81 of Henriquez Jr. I don't know if that was a cut or he got a little bit of help and went down, but that was a crazy cut. 78 got a little out of funk as well. So, Jeremy, there's a lot of uneasy trucks right now I see out there.
The 81, Carlos, just full sent it to the bottom with no help, all from his own steering wheel. He cut down to the front of the 78. He realizes this inside is stacking up. You see the numbers game. It's 4 versus 10 right now. 10 on the bottom, 4 on the top, and there goes the top side. They are going to the back in a hurry, and now we're going to sit down and probably going to watch this single file race once more happen. But great move from Carlos to recognize that the inside was not going to be there much longer. Pulls to the inside, still leads this event, and everybody else that was behind him is now back in 10th place or further on back.
Yeah, just a lot of disorganization back there. Drivers trying to figure out where they want to go, where they need to go. And as you say, we were side by side. I mean, for 2 by 2 for 5 rows deep, Jeremy. And now there are 2 trucks on that high side, and that is it. 3. One just peeked out a little bit there, but I think they were peeking back in. And just as I say that, now, we got contact there. These drivers are trying everything they can. They want to give you guys a good show. 3 wide right now at the line as they go through. Jeremy, you better hold on to your fire suit here because this stuff is about to get real.
And DJ Honeycutt, that 15 with the 3 wide. He made it 3 wide up the middle, made the contact with the outside driver there, came down and door slapped the 13. That's what sent them into an almost wrecked situation. But they held on. And now they are kind of sorted out 2 by 2 again. But somehow, some way, when that incident happened, the outside built momentum with the 15. So Honeycutt made the move, almost wrecked it, and now he's second on the outside line, leading right behind the, was it the 20 truck there? No, 31, sorry. That's going to be the 31 of Zach Hollinger at the line. He will not get this lap. Carlos leads this lap on lap 8.
Yeah, again, amazing racing, and just like that, Jeremy, oh my gosh, the cut there by Hollinger from the top line down below. These guys are doing everything they can, but I have a feeling that the 31 of Hollinger knows that high line is not going to make it.
No,
Contact
no.
there. That was between the 78 of Howard there, and who was that in the Hunt's brother?
Michael Dow.
What's that?
Michael Dow, in the 60.
Okay, Michael Dow in the 60 there. I mean, just a hard door check there going down the backstretch. Good thing was, though, it was down the super stretch, so it's a little easier to hold on to. But, I mean, they are right on that ragged edge, Jeremy. They are trying everything they can as we see a new leader right now in the 31 of Zach Hollinger, but DJ Honeycutt getting a big push right now from Tyler Honeycutt as they're trying to make something happen on that high side.
Doyle Lawrence, you came in at the right time to watch this one. We kind of predicted it, but I asked if this was going to be the more active race, if you will, and it's definitely producing that. Not single file here at all. Almost had several wrecks, and
Doyle has to join in every weekend. He has to, because it's been a complete different race since Doyle joined in.
Oh, 1,000%. And just a side note to 60 Michael Dow, Dustin, he's got a cheat sheet on that front windshield banner. That's his name up there. I just recognized that about 2 laps ago. So if you can't find him, look for his window banner.
Wow, look at that. See, they're trying everything they can to look out for us.
Yeah, they got our back. They realized that we're brand new to this. And, you know.
Huh. See, I love it when they do stuff like that. You know, they have the team names on the spoiler like that. Is man, a lot of action back there further off as we're looking off the deck lid right now of Tyler Honeycutt, part of Ghost Motorsports. So again, Jeremy, it actually seems that this high line is actually getting more organized at this point in time. They are trying everything they can as Tyler is giving DJ one heck of a push, trying to get him clear of the 31 of Hollinger there. question is, will DJ drop down or wait to see if Tyler can get clear and pull both of them down? And if they keep working it, Jeremy, they very well could get that to happen.
No, this 15 and I I literally was just gonna say the 15 and 20 are gonna stay together, but I'm gonna completely reverse that. Now the 20 and the 15 teammates are gonna be running or controlling rather the top and bottom, but the 15 is gonna come back up, allow the 31 to get that run. Now on the inside lane, Carlos giving him some great pushes down the back straightaway here, a little left to right motion, trying to lock down, gets to the corner, lifts it a little bit. That 31 there, great momentum. Zach Hollinger to the front momentarily, but we know the outside at Daytona turn number 4. You get a great launch off corner exit, and look at that, the Honeycutt brothers first and second at the line here to complete lap 12.
They are trying everything they can to clear the 31. I think they will get it this time, as right there you see Tyler drop down. There's DJ. They now take the first and second spot, respectively, on that inside line, leaving the 60 of Michael Dow on that high side and only 2 trucks behind him right now. So a lot of help, but now you see more help from the low line, jump to the high line. This is what we expect from Daytona and Talladega racing, Jeremy, is drivers moving around. They don't call it a chess match at 190 mile an hour for no reason. This is what it is, trying to figure out what lanes are going to move, what ones are not.
Which is kind of crazy to me. We saw the 15 and 20 drop down. Instantly, Michael Dow takes the lead. He goes to the bottom. And now we got the 89 here leading the charge on the outside, Bobby Mantle. He was so close to leading that lap. 5/1000ths of a second separated first and second place. That's the 78 bobbles. John Howard collects it. Does not wreck it. I thought he was for sure going to be causing a multi-truck wreck right there. Hell of a job to save whatever kind of situation it was.
2 near misses so far.
He was good. He was good in the corner, right? And then something happened, and he just kind of jolted left, right.
Actually, no, that's been 3 near misses. He had the first incident at the start of the race between him and Bobby Mantle, where there was just a little bit of bumper contact there, and then he had the door check there from the 60 going down the backstretch of Michael Dow, and then that one right there. I don't know what happened, but I tell you what, busy day for the driver of that 78 machine, John Howard. He has been doing everything he can to keep that thing going straight. Yes, Doyle, to answer your question right now, these guys do have to pit. You will see pit stops at probably about lap 35-ish, depending on if they try to short pit. But again, we're basing that off of the first dual race, and as you can already tell, this dual race is a complete flip-flop night and day from dual race number 1.
Yeah, it looks like they are 100% there. We saw the pit stop start at lap 25, but then the last group hit it, I think, just outside of lap 30, 32, somewhere in that ballpark. So a little bit of variance on the first duel. So lap 23 will mark the halfway point in this session. And at that point, you will see everybody come down within the next 10 laps afterwards. So lap 35 mark is, the 78. Something's got to be going on with John Howard's physical racing setup. He's just left and right all over the place. It's not the setup, it's fixed setup racing. So something is going on with John Howard, and he just can't hold a line right now. Another near miss on the front stretch.
Yeah, he has been struggling on that as they are going down. Like I said, he has been busy on that. A lot of offset in that wheel there. I mean, he has that thing. Oh man.
Oh no, there they go. There they go.
There it goes right there. That is going to bring out our first caution right there, presented by Boomer Button Box. Oh man.
Zach Hollinger destroyed it, cutting up the track there. And going to the Nerd TV replay for the first time this evening. You see the wreck already unfolding rather. 81, that really fast machine from Carlos. He's involved. Zach Hollinger, he's led a lap or two. You see the contact here. That's when the 78 made some jolt maneuver. He gets hooked. So goes down to the track.
Go back. We're going to go back to where this all started. So it almost, Jeremy, looked like he was trying to follow the 89. Oh, man.
Did he get bumped?
That was a hard cut.
I almost feel like he got bumped. You're going to see there's the second cut. That's going to send him into the middle of the field. We're going to go back one more time. Good thing we got VHS on rewind here. We talked about maybe doing some hardware. Yeah, it just almost looked like something broke in the truck or his hardware, because he just cuts hard left for no reason.
Yeah, there was no contact there, and then I mean the drivers behind him after that just had a hard time trying to check up. I mean, it's they roll out of the throttle and everything else, and he goes up the track to try to get out of the way. They roll up the track as well because they're checking up. 24
Damn.
hard impact on that one there. 44 coming in has nothing but the 78 of Howard in front of him. Nowhere to go for the 44 of Mark Sherwood. A lot of damaged trucks in that one there. Took a huge hit.
Being kicked back to the 31, Hollinger, man, he barely got clipped in the right rear from the 78's left rear coming back down the track, and the 31 just eats the wall for dinner. Doesn't need any other meal for the rest of this evening. You see right now, zoomed in camera here, has to check up for the
He
20.
can't see anything. He sees it
He can't.
happen. He sees it happening above him, and then just barely gets clipped. Oh man, that almost looked like what happened with Brian last night there in the Super Speedway series. Just he had no idea that was coming. That was out of nowhere. He thought he was good and cleared, done and by, and nope. Surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, so close to just avoiding everything and to come out of that with no front bumper and probably some type of required damage to repair. Need some Bondo to put the nose back together, whatever these virtual teams have to do. But they pitted Dustin, lap 17, lap 18. We're going to go back to green flag in 2 laps, I would imagine. I think the fuel mileage is set. I think they're good to go. So it's just from here on out, find your dance partner and try to get yourself to the front.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find the dance partner. Preferably not dancing too much. We've seen what happens when you try to go back forth and try to make different cuts. I mean, there's been a lot of close calls in tonight's race by a lot of the drivers, and I tell you what, Jeremy, they did an excellent job holding on to it that much, all the way up till now before that first Boomer button box caution came out. So I tell you what, it's only gonna get crazier as it goes right now. I mean, we don't have that many laps left, Jeremy. As we're sitting here, but you're right. Pit stops gone out of the out of the question now. Don't have to worry about that. Should be good on fuel the rest of the way. Even if you sit here and just, let it hang out from top to bottom, you should be good all the way through. So, I don't know, Jeremy. I'm at a loss on what to expect.
I think after seeing that, they might want to calm it down just for a little bit. 78 now to the rear. I think with his issue that he was having physically, he's in the back, so you don't have to worry about that. So if they can just kind of, you can stay 2 by 2. That's no problem. That's Daytona. You can do that. It's just you got to eliminate the door checks, the left to rights, the uncertainty when you're trying to draft someone, try to bump them down the straightaway. If you're moving your truck around trying to pick up speed, the guy behind you has to lift, which you're counterproductive. So you just got to maintain a little bit more of a steady pace. Don't be so crazy this time, and wait till about 10 laps to go. Then you can get back to it. Dustin, we have a half a lap left. I want to shout out one of our partners once more, Team Watson Racing Setups, TWRS, the leading name in quality and affordability and professionalism, with a staff decorated, distinguished, and dedicated setup builders. TWRS delivers top-notch race and championship-winning setups to the iRacing garages of drivers across the simulation community. Check out a full list of services at teamwatsonracing.com.
Yeah, it's I'm like you, Jeremy. It seemed like some of the moves that were done there, it's almost like some of the drivers were uncertain. They weren't committed to that move, so they kind of second guessed themselves, and that's where you kind of see some of those bobbles, some of those last minute cuts that cut it a little closer. When you're at this point in time here, Daytona, Talladega, if you know that you're clear, you can't second guess it. You got to go with it, because the second you second guess it, that's when the bad things are going to happen, and that's when the big one's going to rear its ugly face.
That is absolutely true. Pace car is down. We're going to restart this thing on lap 20. So it's going to be a 26 lap session from here to the checker flags. The green flag is out, and instantly there's a lot of motion here, even in the front. The inside comes a little disconnected. The 22 gets a great launch. He's going to drop down to the inside. That's going to be J.J. McCoy. He's going to lead the bottom. Now the 20 truck here, he's going to lead the top. Come to turns 1 and 2 with the 94 right behind him.
Yeah, a lot of movement on that, but you see, again, 2 drivers leading that. You got 3 other drivers on that top side trying to work their way up. You know, it's a lot of moving and shaking. Some drivers prefer that low line. Some drivers prefer that high line. I mean, we do it anytime we run as well. There's certain lines we prefer at certain tracks. Ooh, the 5 got real close. Little bit of wall scrape there by the 5 of Kenny Heath, but doesn't slow him up at all. But Jeremy, it definitely looks like I think we have answered the question on whether or not there's fast repairs for this event, because we know there was a lot of damaged trucks on that last one, but I see a lot of shiny new trucks right now, and everybody is maintaining pace.
You know what it is, Dustin? These virtual crew members, this build, are just so damn good at what they do. I'm looking at the info page for this race. Fast repair limit says 0. So these guys are just working their tail off and doing what they can to get these trucks up and running. And I also see Doyle Lawrence in the chat. He said the 78 actually followed the 2 trucks when he went for that wreck. So what he means by that is, let's say you're right up against someone's bumper and they make somewhat of an abrasive move. You're going to follow them. You're going to stay to their bumper, right? So you don't see what's in front of you. You just see a face full of rear bumper and spoiler, nothing else. So if the truck moves down, you're going to follow that truck. And if he did that right at the right time, which it looked like he did, which on entrance of the corner, right where the truck is the most upset because of the weight transfer, that might have kicked the 78 around. So Doyle might be onto something there.
Yeah, and he very well could be. And I mean, let's be honest, Jeremy. I mean, there's times drivers get tunnel vision. Okay, it's happened to me. I know it's happened to drivers all the time. I know it's happened to you. You know, you get so used to following a certain driver in front of you. That's literally all you see. I mean, we can go on board of any of these drivers. We'll go on board right now of Bobby Mantle in the 89. That's all he sees. He sees nothing but rear end and spoiler of McCoy. That is all he's seeing of JJ McCoy. And if you do that for lap after lap after lap, that's what you get used to. So if they go to make a move, you get tunnel vision. You don't even think about anybody else around you because you've been in that safe bubble right behind them. So when they go to move, you go to move, and before you know it, all of a sudden you snap out of the tunnel vision and realize, oh crap, there's somebody down low because I was on the high side, and by that time, it's already too late.
Yeah, 100% there. Tunnel vision is a great way also to put that mentality, if you will, of the driver following somebody else, especially if you're doing it for 10, 20 laps. Like that's it. Your wheel follows that bumper. And so these guys, Dustin, they're still putting on a great show, 2x2 this entire field. Complete reverse what we saw from Duel 1. And since there's no green flag pit stop, this is going to be the pack. So more opportunities for wrecks, more opportunities for people to make a lot of moves. Passing inside, outside can make some options happen for them. But right now, the 22 has this thing locked down on the bottom pretty damn good. That's JJ McCoy. Usually the outside can get a great run off corner exits, but the way the 89 and the 22 are working right now, being teammates, they're untouchable, I think, at this moment in time.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at this right now, the 22 and the 89, both drivers, McCoy and Mantle, both drivers of Grim Reaper Motorsports, they were holding their own against the 3 or 4 on that top side. The 13, I mean, you could fit a whole nother truck in between the 89 and 13 right now with the spaces being left there. So these two drivers are essentially doing it on their own at this point in time. But you see that at some point in time, that top line is going to prevail. You see the 20 right now is prevailing over on that top side. The 94 giving a really good push. So we have to note that it's 20 on the truck, but it's 2 on the scoring pylon for Mr. Tyler Honeycutt. Didn't make a change, forgot to add a 0 or forgot to take a 0 away, whichever you want to put it.
You know, it's one of those things where I want the number 20 and someone has it, so I'm going to claim the 2 and put a 0 on the door. Probably what happened there, you know. But that's a game you can play with iRacing because you upload the car through a third-party software that iRacing utilizes, and they don't know the difference. So But here we are. I got confused about that too. I was like 20 truck. I don't see him on the pylon anywhere. But that's it. That's the number 2, Tyler Honeycutt, followed by your pole sitter for duel number 2, Alexander, in the 94. Last lap got a little ill bump and had to check up the outside. This time though, he is all over that back bumper, and they have cleared the 22. Almost 2 trucks on the top were able to clear the 22. But the 89 is going to bring him back into the frame here. Going to lead the field off of turn number 4. Great run from the 4 trucks, though, on the top to keep Honeycutt in P1, coming through the travel to complete lap 26.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's going to be a back and forth like this. Until something gives, it's going to be a give or take. You're going to see the 22 of McCoy is going to lurch forward down the backstretch. You're going to see, I'm telling you right now, the 20 of Honeycutt is going to see his best runs off of the corner exit there on that high side. The reason for that is because these drivers on the high side, they do not have to lock their trucks down, meaning they do not have to steer them down like the drivers on the inside. The drivers on the inside have the yellow line that they can't pass, and then look at McCoy right now. He's got the 20 on the high side. He can't let his truck drift up very far because he's going to get into Honeycutt. Whereas the high line, they can let that truck drift up and they can carry that speed and that momentum, and that's how you see that high line propel forward like you just did there.
Yeah, 100% there. And these guys are doing it. 4 trucks on the top. Everybody else is on the bottom, as the 20 actually just moves down in front of JJ McCoy. But then at the same token, a couple guys move to the top, so now 4 or 5 trucks on the top right now. Everybody else that's still in this main pack is on the bottom. They are very relentless up there, trying to get it moving. But now Alexander, once again, might be leading this race here. He led lap 1. He might be leading lap 29.
Yeah, and he's making a strong run. I mean, you recall at the start of the race after the green flag down the backstretch, he took a hard left down, hit the apron fill all the way to the back. That was on purpose. Wanted to steer clear of any incidents that could get involved in, because again, as Daytona, we understand the assignments. We get the big one. So a lot of drivers will do that from time to time, but now he is putting himself here. He knows laps are ticking down. Now's the time to shift or get off the pot, so to speak.
Interesting analogy there for sure, but it makes sense. I'm going to shout out one of our partners once more here, the Butt Kicker, the official audio partner for the Nerditudes. It is a innovative hardware and software combination designed to give passionate gamers a deeper level of gaming immersion. The Gamer 2 unit, which is the standard in the sim racing community, gives sim racers that haptic transducer feedback, which easily attaches to any center post of any gaming chair or sim rig, and it gives you that much needed feel in your seat that you need to perform at your peak performance. So head over to thebuttkicker.com and check out what they have to offer your sim rig or computer chair. Definitely brings all the realism to you, and it's much needed. And that's, once more, if you haven't heard them by now, it's thebuttkicker.com.
Yeah, so again, still racing side by side, and I tell you what, right now, the 20 of Honeycutt and the 94 of Alexander still holding control of the low and second lane, respectively. That top lane, though, Jeremy, it's, oh man, they almost look like they want to push it 3 wide there and almost leave Honeycutt out. Yeah. Oh, and the 44 almost looked like he was following those front 2 trucks. He was just following them down. Again, there's that tunnel vision that we see. That was a prime example there. That was a near miss there by the 44 of Mark Sherwood.
There was so much confusion / movement. I didn't know who was going to make what move there, and they almost came together and wrecked the whole field. Thankfully, that did not happen. We stayed green on lap 31, led by that Chevrolet Silverado of the pole sitter once more, Alexander. 15 here in the 20. The Honeycutt brothers are going to be P2, P3 on the bottom. Then 4th place, you're going to see that 22 of McCoy once more. This outside is starting to fade away. You got 3 trucks, 78. Had the damage from the caution. I don't know if he can actually get to the back bumper and help this top side, but everyone else still scrambling behind him. But the 15 and 20, they're going to try to make the move on the top now.
They're trying. I mean, we've seen these guys before. I tell you, the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt, we know that that machine can push. With his, pushing, and DJ's leading on that, it got both of those trucks to the lead, respectively, last time. The question is now, can they do it again? Laps are counting down, Jeremy. We're at, about 15 laps to go? Is where it sits right now. Oh, little bit of wobble there. That was a bump gun, almost a ride there, but the 94 of Alexander held on to it.
These guys are just trying to wreck, and they just cannot do it other than that one time. They're like 1 for 9 as far as wrecks involved, but still side by side, 3 versus 5 or 6 now on the bottom. And the 15 and 20, or the 2, whatever you want to call them there, so good when it comes to this drafting. And you got the 44 here who's trying to help out anywhere he can. That's Mark Sherwood. But just this inside has the numbers game still pretty darn strong. And we're going to be coming up to, I think, 13 laps to go at the line this time.
Yeah, that top side's got to get more organized. They got to get closer. Right now they got the numbers game. 4 on the inside, 5 on the outside. But they have to get closer. The closer that they are there, the bigger train of trucks they have, the longer stretch of air does it flow over them. That means that the lead truck breaks it, the rest of them pick up that slipstream. But when you leave a truck length in between like that, you're not doing any justice to the draft at all. And that's why you see the first 3 trucks right now, the 94 of Alexander, 22 of McCoy, and the 89 of Mantle. That's why you see them as strong as what they are, is because they've been so close.
That's absolutely right. And the outside is starting to fade more. The 15 and 20 doing everything they can. If they would actually turn to the YouTube chat and listen to Doyle here, what he's saying on this is you want to really get close to the right-hand side of the truck if you're on the outside. That way you can maximize that air being pulled off the spoiler. It actually slows down the truck. It gives them a parachute. And you can kind of pass people that way. But at the same token, you risk that air pocket that seems to pop up from time to time, and it will send someone around to the outside wall. So you kind of have to be careful on that notion. And right now they're going to take it calm, coming up to 10 to go at the line when they get there in a half a lap. And this thing is gone single file for the most part, except for these 2 back trucks who are going to regroup and try to go for it.
Absolutely. And I think that we owe the viewers out there a little explanation here. So Doyle Lawrence, stand-up guy, not only is he a talented painter, but he's pretty much officially, unofficially been our pit road reporter here in the chats for everybody that's kind of tuning in, listening in, watching. And he's been with us for more races than we can count. So it's always welcome, and that's why we always like shouting out him and anybody else that says anything in the chat. We may not be able to get to all the messages, but, that's because we're trying to cover the race in action, but we try to at least bring everything in that we can, and we appreciate every step of the way.
Our viewers haven't challenged us, Dustin. We're getting the same numbers as Duo 1, and they are below the yellow line here. Alexander really has to check up. 3 wide here, 89 on the inside, 15 on the out. Contact.
Oh, 3 wide.
Ooh, that was so close. That could have been huge. There's still 3 wide here. Lone truck in the middle, trying to make any move possible. And just, I don't know how they didn't do it.
Man.
And he still is going to lead this outside group after all that movement there. That's the 46 of Bradley Minor. He's the one who made it 3 wide, made it work, and now see if Honeycutt can get to him.
Yeah, they're going to have to try, but I tell you what, they got to regroup a little bit after that, because I'm pretty sure that DJ was he's probably puckering a little bit on that one, because he was so close to that wall, he was spitting up dust rubber from that wall, so it was close. Do you see the 94 Alexander jumps to that high side? Little bit of wobble there, though, from the 46 of Brad Minor going through the corner. We've seen that a couple times, Jeremy. I don't know what's going on with that. It's not typically something you see at Daytona like that. I mean, that quick little wobble, we've seen it from the 78 a couple times too. So I don't know if maybe it's the offsets that they have, the ratios that they have running here as well. The ratios, because the lower ratio you run takes less input. Maybe they have it just a little too low. And I tell you what, these guys are getting close now, Jeremy. They know the laps are counting down.
46 of Bradley Minor. I thought he was going to go 3 wide. He kicked it right back down below, or behind the 94 there of Alexander, and somehow they made a bump in the corner. I thought that was going to hook him for sure with that speed that he had, but still side by side, equal numbers. It is 5 versus 5, top and bottom. The bottom led by a Toyota Tundra, outside led by a Chevrolet Silverado. Getting to the line this time. There should be 8 laps to go. No, actually 7 laps to go. And the outside with a little bit more momentum this time. That Black Rifle truck there, that Silverado, it's the 46, but you can't see a number on the door, so it's kind of confusing, but I think I've got it down.
Yeah, it is the 46, and you're correct, Jeremy. It is hard to see that number, so it definitely makes it hard for us as we're trying to put names to numbers for the first time starting this league out. And shout out Doyle as well. No, sir, thank you, and we appreciate you as well as always. But yeah, no, this racing, it's only going to get more exciting from here, Jeremy. And if you're going to see sparks fly, now is going to start being the time, because these guys haven't let up since the drop of the green flag nearly 40 laps ago. So hold on to your drinks, boys and girls and nerds of all ages, because it's going to be a wild one.
We've already seen the racing, and it's only going to get more exciting from this point forward. So we're going to have 5 laps to go next time by. And on the back straightaway right now, the numbers game is actually almost shifted to the top for a moment. I thought the 44 maybe was going to contend up there. But nope, they go back to 5 versus 5. And right now, Bradley a little upset there. Goes a little wide there in turn 3. That's going to quickly allow that 22 to take over the 94 with ease. Back to the point here. Toyota Tundra is going to lead this lap. 5 to go.
Yeah, 5 to go. And I mean, you just see this momentum shift from one side to the next as, you know, we're going through. I mean, look at the push, though, that Brad Minor is given to the 94. But you see that when they enter corner like that, it shifts to the bottom line. Bottom line has a little bit momentum. But then once you get corner exit, oh, man, see, that's a couple times. The 46, that's happened with him like that. That's almost what we've seen happen with the 78 a number of laps ago. That was John Howard. So definitely got to be careful with that. These things can definitely snap on you.
They can, especially on corner entry and exit, where you go from 28 degrees to almost nothing as far as the transit or the banking goes. There was a little door contact there. I think the 13 and the 20, at least it was really close anyways. They crossed the line. 4 laps to go. This time the 22 leading the way. That's still J.J. McCoy. He's got his partner in crime, his teammate, number 89, Bobby Mantle, on his bumper and has not left it for the most part of this dual race number 2. But
we got problems.
Drag race.
We got problems, Jeremy. We had the 94 of Alexander just did a Houdini act. He's gone. He was the leader of your top line there, and he is gone. But it did not slow this top line down at all. Now being led by the 46 of Brad Minor. He's got the 15 right now, DJ Honeycutt, and the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt behind him. Both of those drivers are trying to push. They're trying to make something happen. So some type of latency issue right now with the 94 took him clear out of contention.
How I didn't catch that, I don't know. I'm glad you caught it. I looked away for a second to go look at some stats, and ta-da, he's gone. And he's not jumped out of the server just yet either, so I don't know if he's just randomly going to... Yep, there he goes. He's finally... Packet loss has got to him. 94 out of contention.
Oh,
2.5 laps to go here. 3 wide. This is where it's going to get spicy.
Yep, 3 wide. And again, this is because they're all trying to do something with it right now. The 46 of Minor is in that sucker hole there. He's going to have to fall in line on that bottom, not give him much room.
Oh, no.
Honeycutt made room for sure, though. As they were coming off the corner, they're getting a run. They're trying to get that momentum on that high side. You see 2 others right now. You got the 13 of Stephen Hayes up on that high side. And is that the 24 of EJ Luna? Yes, and they're still trying to go.
No.
Oh, man, he's trying to hold on to it. Oh,
full Brad Minor destroys them. We stay green here. 2 laps to go. I do not know why iRacing did not throw a caution. That was clearly a multiple car wreck on the upper half of the track. Going to the Nerd TV replay to take a look at this. And, 31, I think, just hooks the 46.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looked like too. The 46 was trying to stay low. 31 caught it, just cleaned out Tyler Honeycutt on that one. That left DJ all by his lonesome up on that high line. He had 2 trucks behind him, and then another Houdini act, and he was all by himself.
Kicking it back here, white flag is out. The 13 on the outside with the 24 is leading the way through turns 1 and 2. That is Stephen Hayes bringing EJ Luna with him, and there's still going to be single file on the top here, 2 trucks on the bottom. That is the teammates there, the 2289. Half a lap to go here to complete both dual races. Great run by the 22 JJ. Can this withstand 2 versus 4? Now you got the 44 down to the bottom. 3 versus 3. Final time through the tri-oval. And it's going to be a tight one, Dustin. Who's going to get it? It looks like the 22 of JJ McCoy passes 2 trucks on the final lap to win duel number 2.
What a race, though. And I tell you what, good on Stephen Hayes. He was committed to that high line there, had been gotten a heck of a push from EJ Luna on that high side to put both of those drivers in the position they were there. Luna bringing it home P4 on that, meaning that he will start P8 on the night coming up in 2 weeks. But I tell you what, excellent job all the way through on that one, Jeremy, to get to that point.
Yeah, that was very good stuff there. A lot more creativity, a lot more action in duel number 2. And that's kind of set the picture for what we can expect coming in 2 weeks from tonight here. But I think that's going to wrap it up here for us here this evening. We had both dual races. One was just follow the leader. The other one was craziness. Completely what we expect from Daytona. So you see us back on camera here for the little post-race event. And yeah, no, I'm excited. This is new to this place, and how I saw these drivers perform tonight, Dustin, I think we got a great show coming up in 2 weeks on the 18th.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, we've seen that these drivers can show respect, have a lot of give and take in that first dual race, which was a surprise for an exhibition race, especially a duel. Usually it's hats off from the drop of the green flag. You know, and then we've seen the race in action. We've seen that their ability to have so many close calls and nothing happened from it. I mean, we only had 2 wrecks in that second one. Only one brought a caution out. The second one probably should have, but it didn't. You know, a lot of close calls there. It's good racing action all the way around, Jeremy. So definitely look to see what these drivers can do, because, you know, they're going to be running 2 weeks from tonight at Daytona for their season opener, and they've got a good schedule of tracks all the way through. I mean, they're hitting about everything they can that's got 4 corners and some that's got more.
Absolutely, man. And we're gonna shout out our sponsors one last time before we bring this thing to a close for y'all. And I think we have a board, Dustin, if we from all of our partners.
No,
We don't this time.
Not
Okay.
a board. Remember, this is the one where we close it out. We take our faces off, and I
Yeah.
made your job easier. We got a video that actually
Okay.
shows that. Remember?
That's right. That's right. We got some changes. I know you guys are new to us, but man, Dustin, this offseason been killing it. So let's take a look at our partners here with this video that he's built for everybody.
So again, thanks everybody for joining in. If the duels are any testament to what we can expect from the drivers here at the Global Racing League Truck Series, it's going to be a good season. Happy to be with you guys, and we will catch you guys 2 weeks from tonight, February 18th. Same bat time, same bat channel right here for some laps at Daytona. Till then, take it easy. Get your nerd on. This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. BoomerButtonBoxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com. TWRS. Got the rig? Got the sim? Now get the speed with setups from TeamWatsonRacing.com.